Alright, welcome to episode 5 of Final Fantasy X Remastered. So, we just said goodbye to Besaid, but there's some little unfinished business we need to attend to here before we leave. Because Besaid essentially will be locked off until the end of the game after this point here. So let's go ahead and find this secret item before we leave. So let's talk to her. You heathen, you know that the teachings are the only true guide. So let's stock up. We'll get to a few more of these. Come back soon. You know, funny thing happened. My dogs dug up something yesterday. I wonder what it is. So let's go ahead and find this dog. There it is. He's got something in his mouth. Something mangled and slobbery. Victor has learned Overdrive Energy Blast. So this is a secret overdrive. So I was mentioning Valfor as my favorite Aeon of the game. And he's the only Aeon in the game that can learn 2 overdrive moves. What overdrive is, like we talked about, is their special move. So let's see, let's go to Aeon. Here he is. So there it is. He has Energy Blast and Energy Ray. It does a lot more damage than the Energy Ray. Energy Blast is probably one of the better overdrives in the game, to be honest. And then, speaking about things we spoke about before, so Aeons normally follow characters in the game. So Tidus is Bahamut, Waka is Ifrit, Yuna is Valfor, and Lulu is Ixion. So depending on which character levels up in which way, the attributes of the Aeon corresponding to them also go up. So make sure you train your guys, and naturally your Aeons will grow with them. And the only way to make them learn break damage break is by leveling up their celestial weapons for respective characters to the Aeons. So let's go ahead and take this dingo out.
No problem.
Not too shabby. You kept up with him pretty well.
This is the battle tutorial of the job systems in this game.
A flyer, my kind of customer.
Condor. They're nasty. They usually cause a lot of status ailments. So let's continue on here, and we should hit another tutorial before we leave the area.
That looks like trouble.
So that's one of our flans. These guys are pretty resistant to physical attacks. So see there, we didn't do much damage. The only way to kill them is by using the magic spell opposite to their element. So this one's a water flan, I believe.
Clueless, aren't you? Spells of ice work well against fire fiends, and ice fiends are weak against fire magic. You follow?
I get fire and ice.
Lightning and water are opposed. This one here is a water fiend.
Yeah, so we have to use thunder on it. You can use the other ones, but they'll just do less damage than the thunder would. And if you use the same elements, such as on water on the water flan, you'll see sometimes next to no damage, and later on in the game you'll see them actually absorb that spell and add it to their HP. It's a hell of a view of Besaid village there.
Take your time.
So see, even the Guardians know that Yuna is saying goodbye to the places that she's leaving. And they're just giving her all the time in the world to really take it in and say her goodbyes.
Are you ready?
What's going on?
So he's still clueless to what's going on here. So let's go ahead and pray at this monument.
Custom. People leaving the island pray here for a safe trip. Chapu didn't pray that day. Said he'd miss his boat.
So you can see Wakka's really entrenched in the Yevon fate. Especially because of the loss of his brother. So he seems to really take to these superstitions. And it kind of really plays well with his character, who's a sportsman. And you see a lot of sportsmen with like superstition, like lucky socks. Or, you know, the same rituals before games, you know. Having a drink or whatever it may be. So he's very much entrenched in that culture here. And you see it in his personality with everything he does. And then welcome our Ronzo of the crew here. He's really cool. He's probably the blue mage of the character if you are a fan of the old Final Fantasy games. He can learn all the blue bullet, like basically the magic attacks of abilities of fiends by absorbing from them by a move called Lancet. So that's his overdrive there. He's using one of his blue bullets, so to say. That one comes specific. So it's better not to heal in this battle. It's because it ends once you hit a certain amount of damage at Kamari. And they've set it so that you don't die. Your HP half-ends or goes very critical.
What's with that guy?
Kimari Ronso.
So they put that in there to really show his animal instincts and how the Ronso are very in tune with their animal instincts. He's testing him out if he's strong, and the strong remain with the strong and the weak perish, so to say. So he was really testing his strength so he would allow him to travel with the group here. Scout. So you'll notice we've picked up a lot of good weapons along the way. So let's go ahead and equip the Rod of Wisdom that we got from the temple on Yuna and this Scout that we got. So it's got this sensor ability which tells us the stats of every fiend we fight. It's a good stat to have in the beginning of the game. Alright, let's continue. It's a beautiful little island that they live on here. This is another part of the tutorial.
A flyer. That's your department, right?
True. But why don't we let our summoner show us what she's...
So they're introducing the party switch mechanic here. So you can actively switch out your weapons and armor, but also your party members as you need. Because fiends do go through cycles of battle, where they do certain moves and things like that. Another thing that's changed in here is, this is the first Final Fantasy where you can actually summon your Aeons and they become playable characters in the game. Whereas the previous Final Fantasies, basically when you summon them, they did their attack and they left. But this is the first Final Fantasy where you can actually fight alongside your Aeons. And that's another way this game really change the Final Fantasy genre. And for the most part, the Aeons are pretty strong in the early part of the game, so don't feel free to use them. But if you really want to get the most out of your battles, I would refrain from using them. Let's take him out. Trying to get him to do more damage on me so I can fill up my overdrive gauge there. The yellow bar that you see under Valfor's HP and everything is her overdrive bar, and it fills up when you collect damage or attack. Excuse me there. Alright, so let's go ahead and use that overdrive we got from the dog. So this is Energy Blast. And that took care of that problem. We got a bright ring. Let's take a look. Okay, so it wards off darkness. Darkness is basically blind in the previous games, where the attacker can no longer do physical attacks. It'll miss most of the time. Accuracy drops. So this is the last part of the tutorial on Besaid Island.
Another one of those. No problem. Leave this one to me, huh? Say good night.
So this is where they're introducing status ailments. So here's the dark side, dark attack, which causes darkness on him, but it missed. It has a low probability. So this part of the game, they'll most likely not make it too difficult. So let's try this again. There we go. So now he has the dark status on him. So we're gonna attack with Waka again. So as long as the darkness is on this fiend here, he won't be able to actually land an attack on us. Go ahead and take him out. There you go. All right. Twilight Steel. So let's go ahead and equip that, see if it's even useful. Okay, so Dark Touch is basically the other side of the coin where it can actually inflict darkness instead of warding off, where we saw it in the bright ring here. So let's continue down this road. Leaving... Sometimes I feel like when you exit this part of the game, it really feels like you're leaving the serene life behind because of the music and the ambience of the environment you're in. So let's go ahead and use our job systems now. I know I totally did that wrong, but... let's keep going. So you receive the different spheres for defeating different kinds of fiends. Yeah. And then once we start hitting overkill kills, we'll actually start receiving double the amount of items that we normally get from each fiend after we kill them. So we're just returning to the beach where we met Waka. Let's go ahead and save. So we're just about to leave. So a good thing is to talk to everybody before you leave on this island. They'll all be giving you items and whatnot. So make sure you talk to every single person before you leave. The makers have, I think, specifically put that in here to really show the tight-knit community, how, you know, how it is like in the village when everybody leaves. People give each other gifts and things like that. And you see them follow them outside of the city, basically, or the village. So you can see all of them just running to the ship here. So let's talk to this person. Let's talk to him. Here's a farewell gift. See, so every single person is giving you a little bit something, and I think the game makers have purposely put that in here to really show you that camaraderie and the closeness of each of the NPC characters here, how she grew up here, and how they just want her to do well. Okay. So this is her saying goodbye. And she makes the Yevon sign. You also notice a lot of the styles that they've introduced in Besaid are very Polynesian and very I want to say Pacific Islander type fashion. Or at least that's where they drew their inspiration. So next stop, we're moving to Kilika. So this is a pretty cool transition that they show with the map every time you go through one place to another on the journey. So don't worry about anything you missed out on the journey. You can always we'll definitely circle back around the end of the game just to make sure we have everything. But for the most part, we're going to try and get everything on this boat. Tidus having a little fun there. Oh, alright, well. She spotted you. Caught in the act.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. If you interfere with Yuna's pilgrimage, we won't take it lightly. I don't know.
Come to think of it, I haven't told you where we're going.
Lulu's not very fond of us right now in this part of the journey.
Island. Then we change boats and head for Luca.
But something tells me she'll come
For
around.
that, though, Yuna's gotta pray at the temple. I'll be guarding. We'll be praying for the Aurochs' victory too, so you come along, yeah?
So just they're a really sorry bunch of group, the Aurochs. They haven't won in years,
Look at me.
so that's why Waka was trying to recruit him earlier. But he's got that on his mind the whole time. Let's talk to Kamari. Strong, silent type. See, I always like Kamari because Kamari is one of those characters who doesn't really talk that much, but when he does talk, it makes it count. We'll arrive in Kilika before nightfall. Go on, take a nap or something. Oh, what a great day. The breeze must feel wonderful. Yes, it does. It'd be great to be on a boat right now. So let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Do you really want to use the binoculars? Sure. No way. Remember what you did last time? Oh, come on. No, not really. I see. Okay. Well, regardless, he wasn't going to give it to us anyways. Dick. Let's go back and try and talk to Yuna.
Word is that summoner's got noble blood.
I heard she's Lord Braska's daughter.
You don't say.
Lord Braska's daughter?
So Lord Braska was the last High Summoner, meaning he was the one who defeated Sin last. So he's very revered right now amongst everybody.
So, is Yuna's father famous or something?
She's the daughter of High Summoner Braska. You saw his statue at the temple. Lord Braska defeated Sin 10 years ago. Yuna's the heir to a great legacy.
It's tough when your father's famous.
Huh?
Waka's a bit lacking in the imagination department.
Lulu really
Thanks,
likes to
Lulu.
throw those
I'll keep that in
jabs.
mind.
Savage. I really love how they've redone these character models again. It really like breathes some life into this game. If the models weren't redone, literally you could have seen how dated the graphics were. But right now you wouldn't be able to tell if this game was made a few years ago or not. Or rather, what was it? 1999 is when it was developed. So almost 20 years ago. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell if this game was made like maybe 5 years ago, because the graphics are pretty good and they've aged well, especially with the character models. It's really changed the game immensely.
Player, aren't you? From Zanarkand, right?
You hear that from Waka?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Waka doesn't believe me at all.
So Yuna's the only one who's sympathizing with him right now because everybody doesn't believe that he's a blitzball player from Zanarkand.
I've heard in Zanarkand there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
Huh?
Great blitzball tournaments are held there, and the stands are always full.
How do you know that?
A man named Jecht told me. He was my father's guardian.
Oh. See, that adds another dimension to his perception of his father there. He had no idea that his father was actually related to her father.
My father. His name is Jecht.
Yep. One and the same.
Amazing. You know, our meeting like this must be the blessing of Yevon.
Sounds like him, but it can't be him.
Why not?
My old man, he died 10 years ago, off the coast of Zanarkand.
I'm sorry.
He went out to sea for training one day, and never came back. And no one's seen him since then.
Why, that's the day that Jecht came to Spira.
But,
It's true.
And now you know.
I first met Jecht 10 years and 3 months ago. I
See,
remember
that makes
was
sense.
the day
That's
my
when he
father died.
disappeared and appeared in Spira.
The date fits, doesn't it?
So it's really putting the puzzle together here.
yeah, but how would he get here?
How would he get here?
You're here. Are you not?
Alright, boss fight. Come on, buddy. Hold on for dear life. There you go, Kamari. Good job. Always the gentleman. Just when you think you're safe, Sin attacks.
What do you think you're doing? Stick a harpoon in him and we'll all get dragged under.
Sin is going for Kilika. We gotta distract it.
Our families are in Kilika. Forgive us, Lady Summoner.
They really have no choice.
Wait! Oh boy!
It's either they drive it away or it kills all of their families. That was a bad idea. I'm surprised the ship hasn't capsized yet. More Sin spawns. Last we saw them was in Zanarkand, I believe. So this is a good place to really level up too, because all you gotta do is keep killing these guys. So let's go ahead and get Waka in here. All you gotta do is keep killing these guys and Sin will basically keep bringing them back and keep sending more over there. And the fin won't actually do any damage to you while you don't attack it. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. So I'm just going to demonstrate how Sin just keeps bringing them back. And you could basically do this for a few hours and just keep grinding, and you could really get a lot of sphere levels doing this. So now they've introduced distance, so if somebody's in the back, they cannot be attacked except by Waka or some kind of magic, by Lulu or whichever character has magic. So right now he's inaccessible to such characters like Tidus and Yuna. So the best thing in this battle is basically shorten the numbers to 1. There you go. So let's take this guy out. And then go for the fin for majority of the battle. So I like to just attack this thing once. And then let's bring in Yuna. And now basically Val 4 will take majority of the battle away now. So don't even bother with this guy anymore. Let's go ahead and use all our magic. It's one attack. We'll let the other guy attack us so we can build up the overdrive gauge. That's fine. I can take it. While we work on this fin here, our overdrive gauge will get filled up by the other guy, and then we can just use our overdrive at the end to take him out. May not even come to that point. There you go. So one more attack and we should have our overdrive gauge. We should be able to take out everybody. Alright. Oh, we have an overdrive gauge. So let's go ahead and use it. Let's use Energy Ray this time. Because we used Energy Blast on the last guy, so I just want to show you this one here. It's not as powerful, but it should get the job done. There you go, overkill. So overkill is an effect when you attack, when you do 200 or more damage over the person's HP left over, over the fiend's or opponent's HP left over. It gives you double the amount of items and XP when you kill them like that. So that's what you want to be aiming for near the end of the game, so to really level up quickly and collect items very quickly. Took the harpoons with him. Oh. Alright, guys. So there's more of those sin spawns attacking you. Waka to the rescue. You'll notice his ball's different from his normal scout. It's because I changed it earlier to the scout, actually, sorry. From his normal ball. Which is usually blue. A blue blitz ball. Dolphins? Oh, I see. So that's another sin spawn we gotta take care of. This is a nasty little battle. He can be really challenging if you don't know what you're doing. So let's go ahead and take these piranha things out first, because they can do a lot of damage. So I like to just bring it down to at least one, or if I could take them all out, that's even better. But they do regenerate infinitely. Okay, so the way to do this is attack this dude, but with Waka, you want to use the dark attack that we learned in the tutorial earlier. So he can't land that drain attack that he was doing earlier, the drain touch. Here it is. So see how he misses. So that's what we want to do here. That's the strategy in this battle. So this is his nasty attack that attacks everyone and really does a hell of a lot of damage for this part of the game. So thank God he's still under that blind spell. Come on, miss. There you go. So that's what you want to do. You just want to make him miss every time. I am actually going to use this time to get his ether back. Oh, sorry, I'm going to use this ether so I can bring his MP back. Because I need to stop him from doing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the dark attack again. There you are. Oh, now we're getting in the danger area. Let's hope he doesn't take us out. Okay, we're good. I am actually going to use this time to heal. Just to be sure. I'm sure I could take him out, but let's heal. There you go. And now let's go after him. He's almost dead though, I believe. There you go. Miss. Alright. Probably one more turn and we should be able to take him out. Alright. Critical attack, come on. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to attack him one more time. Ugh, I hate this attack. Alright, take him out. There you go. I used to really struggle with this battle, but once you get the mechanics down, it's very, very simple. And he's gone. So what you're seeing there are fireflies. You see that when fiends die. I probably haven't explained them, but they play a big role in this game. So that blitzball belonged to the child that we talked to earlier, and or we saw earlier kicking it around. And this scene really shows the carnage Sin can cause, and the reason why they really need to defeat him.
I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was that day, on the sea, under the burning sun. I started to give up hope. I was in a foreign world. I wasn't going home.
So we're really seeing him accept his reality
This was my
now.
new reality, and I was stuck in it for good.
So we reached Kilika Port, which has basically been decimated by Sin here.
Greetings. I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the temple in Besaid.
Oh, milady summoner!
If there is no other summoner here, please allow me to perform the sending.
Thanks, BT.
Our loved ones. We feared they would become fiends.
Please, take me to them.
So how it works is that if a person dies and they're not sent to the far plane, which is their version of the afterlife, they tend to become resentful of the living and become fiends. So it's very essential that they be sent.
We'll go see what we can do to help in town.
Alright folks, so I know it was a bit of a long one, but it was important for the narrative and for the story. But thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and help the channel grow. Thank you so much. See you next time.